Again, this is our tour guide. Your name again?
Lamin.
Lamin. Firstborn.
Firstborn. Yes. So what we're going to do now, normally when we arrive here with our own people, the black African Americans, as most of their roots come from this land. So when we arrive here, as millions of human being souls are still remain on this island, but their bodies has been disappeared. So before we start the tour, when we arrive here, we used to have 5 minutes silence and pray for our ancestors, the millions of souls that remain here and in the river and in America. Okay? So we're gonna start that as from now. 5 minutes prayers for our ancestors. So it's a very sad place we come to visit today, and the original location of this island was 6 times bigger than how it is today. The island today is wasting away by the river. That is why many parts of this island and many of their slave prisons are all taken by the river today. And the billions of human being souls are still remain on this spot, but their bodies has been disappeared. So, and the first Europeans arrived on this island, it was the Portuguese. They arrived here in the 14th century or in the 15th century. And the Portuguese were here till one of their famous explorers, who was named after Andrew, died on this fort. And he was buried on this fort, and the name of this fort was named after him. They call it St. Andrew's Island. That was the first name of this fort because of the Portuguese. So the second Europeans to start the construction of this fort with slaves, it was the Baltic Germans and the Colombians. People call them Latvians today. The fort was firstly constructed by them around 1651. So by 1659, the fort was taken control by the Netherlands for a couple of 3 months. So in 1661, the British took over the fort. So when the British took over the fort in 1661, they also changed the name of this fort for the second time from St. Andrew's Island to St. James Island. So from 6th of February year 2011, the brother of Michael Jackson came here, Jamin Jackson. So Jamin also changed the name of this island for the 3rd time today. Now it is from St. James to Kunta, Kinteh Island. But according to the history, 900 slaves were used to be here at a time, waiting for the Middle Passage on board to America. So the amount of slaves that were used to be here, they spent 3 weeks on this island. Every 3 weeks, the big ships are coming, different type of ships. They are coming and they will start loading them inside of those ships, and they will transport them to America. But according to the history, in those days, slaves were never used to be treated as human beings. They always treat them like wild stuff communities, like animals in those days. And when they were on this island, they give them food and water only once in a day, just to keep them alive. This is why before the completion of 3 weeks, many of their slaves, they become very weak. Some will be dying because of hunger and starvation. So the dead slaves were not used to be buried on the island. What they do is, as the river was full of wild animals, so they will start throwing them by feeding them with those animals. And whenever the slave ship arrived on this fort, all the trading companies will start selecting the most strongest ones who can be transported to America. So all their weak slaves and their handicapped slaves, they will never sympathize them to take them back to the mainland. But all those people, again, they were used to be a food for the animals inside of the river. And when they bring slaves on this island, in those days our ancestors were not good swimmers. They don't even know how to swim. They cannot swim to go back home, but many of them, they cause suicide on this island. They just jump in the river, feeding themselves with animals. They prefer of dying here, but to feed themselves with animals is more important than transporting them out from their country. So you can see also these are the ruins of their slave prisons where they were keeping slaves. Each room, according to the history, will take 40 slaves strong men or 40 strong women, some with their babies. So these are the defensives, and this position was not their original positions. They were all located in their original locations. But as far as the island is wasting away by the wind, and the government didn't want to lose them. So this is why the position where they are, they removed them from that positions and they placed them here. So line on, it is lying on the grave of the famous Portuguese explorer. That's why I is buried. The famous Portuguese explorer.
So that's the average.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah, but that's the British cannon.
Yeah, the British,
Like this.
they took it from there and they just placed it there. But they are not worried of the dead man. So these flags also, it's like each country who was making slavery in the Gambia here, who was the companies that were collecting slaves from the Gambia. So during the road homecoming festival, we done in this village to celebrate our the days of our ancestors. Normally it happens in this village every 2 years.
Okay.
So they put their flags on. If you come like you come from Germany, they put the flag. Spain, England, Portuguese, French, Dutch. So this one will be the Gambia. Because all these countries were collecting slaves from the Gambia and transport them.
Got you.
Yeah.
So basically the flag would match the ship that's coming?
No, like after it is the day of the Roots Coming Home Festival.
Okay.
They put their flags on. So if you come from Germany, England,
So like if I come
India,
back,
America or anywhere, you will know that your country was also collecting slaves from the Gambia. Yeah.
Sorry, sister.
This is the map of the River Gambia. That's from the telegram.
That's fine.
This is the map. That's the Atlantic Ocean and that's the upper river, Georgetown. So the island is located in the middle of the River Gambia. Yeah, and you can see San Domingo, the Portuguese trading site, which is opposite. So any slave that were captured in this bank, they keep them in San Domingo, the Portuguese trading site in the area. Every 2 weeks they bring them to the island. This is Jufre, the home of Kunta Kinteh. Albreda was occupied by 7 European colonial powers in the slavery days. Yeah, Albreda.
Oh, look at all of this. Look at all these trees.
James Island, it was also used as a collecting point and a departing point because all the slaves that were kept in Gore Island and they are supposed to be transported to America, all those slaves will be transported all the way from Senegal in Gore Island and they will bring them here. So every 3 weeks, they will start selecting the most strong ones and send them to America. Okay? So, and if you come to this other side here, you will see the whole of the island.
Can we get out of the way?
There you can see,
So disrespect.
you can see the ruins of those slave prisons today.
Got you.
All right, this is how they were built. And
The
that's
ones on the
fort
outside.
itself. Yeah, this is the fort itself. And the fort also in those days was having 4 corners. And each of these corners are called Boston's defensive positions. They put 24-pounder cannon, big cannons, in each side so that they can be protected from the pirates. So this was the water cistern where they collect rainwater for slaves, right? So for your further information, yeah, the fort was also like 2-story building. They have upskirt and downskirt. So the upskirt was used as a residence for the agent of their trading companies. Then the second ones were used as their administrative offices.
These are what
This is slave rooms where they
rooms.
keep rooms, slaves, yeah.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, the slave prisons. You can
Yeah,
see them there.
right.
You can see their ruins over there.
Yes.
The remains.
Yes.
But when we go to the lighthouse, you
more?
will see exactly how the island was built.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How long did you say the trees were normally here?
These trees are 300 to 400 years old today. They are very old ones.
And I thought my tree at home was old. And they're called
baobabs.
baobabs.
Yeah, baobab trees. They can live for 1,000 years without dying.
Kunta Kinteh Island.
And the island is located in its original structure. And all these constructions were done by slaves, beating and killing and transporting to America and feeding them with animals.
So doing all of that, they're still building someplace.
24 hours working without resting. If you become tired, the supervisors will start whipping you till at the end of the day they become hydrated, they fall down and they die. They throw them in the river. So you can see the stones, the fire bricks were all collected all the way from Bristol, because when they transport slaves to America, on their way coming back, they bring these stones, they put them inside of the ship so that they can have the balance.
Got you.
So these other ones, the black ones, we call them lateral rocks or volcanic rocks. They collect them from San Domingo. So all these junkie jobs were all used to be held, were all used to be done by our ancestors.
Oh, this walk right here is like incredible to me. This is like life changing.
So we are rightly inside of the fort now, and it was two-story building as I told you. So you can see the roofs. So the island also has encountered a lot of separation, lot of bombardments between the French and the British. Over 7 times the island was used to be bombarded by the French, and 7 times it was used to be rebuilt back by the ARC militants. This is why many parts of the island you can see today is in ruins. It's been suffered from the it's been suffered by bombardments between the French and the British. And this big cannon was used as their defensive positions. These are one of the biggest ones, 24-pounder cannons. These are the defensives, right? And they are called Bostons.
Oh my God! Is this?
So this is one of the biggest rooms on the island, and all the weapons, the ammunitions that you have seen in this